Elite Gaming.
What's up guys, it's Andrew at EliteGamingHQ, and I have another PUBG benchmark video just for you guys. I'm going to mention this at the door, though I think I mention it in every video. The gameplay in the background is not from the system that we're using for the test. That gameplay is from my personal rig, and I'm not putting it there to deceive anyone. It's just there because it's on my computer, and it's easy to drop in just to give you guys something to look at as we go over the benchmarks. The other thing is, if I was to try to do the benchmarks and also record the video at the same time, it would have a negative effect on our benchmark numbers. Now I'm trying to get the most accurate numbers as possible, but of course you got to keep in mind that there also is a little bit of a lottery. One card will perform a little bit different than another card, in some cases a kind of a big difference, but these numbers are a pretty good guideline. I'm trying to make the test as true as possible so that when people are thinking of purchasing a new computer or these cards, they get an idea of what to expect. Now this next one was a little bit harder to do because I actually don't have the card anymore. I had to run the test on a friend's computer. This test is for the RX 580. This RX 580 is one of the XFX cards that I had a little while ago, and if you want to know more about the video card themselves, I'll link a video in the description that shows everything about that card. Before we go into the numbers, if you guys appreciate that video, please do me a huge favor, go down to the bottom and click the bell and join our notification squad. After you click that bell, go down in the comments below, hashtag notification squad, and let me know you're a part of the family. This way, I can shout you out with all of our new members. But let's get into the test. So the PC we used for the test was an Intel i5-6500 that was paired with 8 gigs of DDR4 and obviously the RX 580. And this was the 8GB model. So for low, the RX 580 had an average of 110 FPS and dropped down to 88 FPS, which are really solid numbers, but we are in low settings, but this card is definitely a beast. Let's move on to medium. For medium, we were getting an average of 78 FPS and a low of a solid 60 FPS, which this was kind of surprising to me, because if you go back and look at our GTX 1060 video, the 3GB GTX 1060 actually outperforms 8GB RX 580, which is interesting because with the new driver updates that came out in June of 2017 and so forth, RX 580 usually pulls ahead of the GTX 1060 in most titles. And the other surprising thing is I did not think the 3GB 1060 model would have enough VRAM to be able to hang with the RX 580, but the way it compresses incoming video works a little bit differently, so I shouldn't have been too surprised. Both are really solid cards, and they seem to go blow for blow, but the 1060 pulls ahead in this title. But lastly, let's look at our Ultra numbers. For Ultra, the RX 580 scored an average of 50 FPS, dropping down to a low of 35 FPS. Both solid numbers, also still wouldn't recommend playing on Ultra, but that's 4 frames less on the average than the 1060, but 3 frames higher on the low point. Very interesting stuff. So I hope you guys have liked this series so far. I have a whole playlist of the other videos. I'll link them all in the description so you can go check them out and give me a thumbs up for the effort that I put in if you enjoy what I'm doing here. Next up, we have the GTX 1070 and my very own Strix GTX 1080. So I'll catch you on the next one. My name is Andrew, and this is Elite Gaming HQ. Thanks for watching, guys.